They didn't expect today to feel this intense. Yet from the second they woke up, something inside them shifted in a way they couldn't explain. For weeks they tried convincing themselves that distance was easier, that silence could protect them from emotions they weren't ready to confront, but every attempt to move forward only brought them back to the same place, back to the thought of you. Your presence has lingered quietly in the corners of their mind, impossible to ignore and even harder to replace. What once felt uncertain has suddenly become crystal clear to them. The hesitation that kept them frozen is beginning to disappear, and the walls they built so carefully are starting to crumble, one by one. They have spent countless nights replaying conversations, wondering whether reaching out would change anything, wondering if you still think about them the same way they think about you. But today carries a different energy. There's a growing feeling inside them that time is moving too quickly to keep pretending they don't care. Every distraction has failed. Every attempt to bury their emotions has only made them stronger, and no matter where they go or what they do, your memory keeps returning with undeniable force. Even ordinary moments suddenly remind them of everything they tried so hard to suppress. The truth is, they are exhausted from fighting what their heart already understands. They don't want another day filled with uncertainty or unfinished emotions. Somewhere deep inside, they know they are standing at a turning point, and for the first time in a long while, they are seriously considering choosing honesty over fear, connection over distance, and you over every excuse that once kept them away. So strong that they even stopped mid-sentence while speaking to someone because the thought of you hijacked their mind again. They've replayed every single moment they had with you, every word, every glance, every smile, every silence, and suddenly they realized the truth they've been fighting, the truth that has been screaming inside them. No one makes their soul feel the way you do. And this realization didn't arrive softly. It hit them like a thunderclap, shaking them awake, pushing them to act before fate takes you away from them. They know that if they don't make their move right now, they might lose the one person they're terrified to lose, you. But here's where the twist begins. This bold move they're planning isn't small, isn't ordinary, and isn't something they can take back once they step into it. This is not a simple call, or a text, or an apology. This is a move that will make people around them gasp, question, whisper, and even attempt to interfere. They are about to choose you over the opinions of those they've always obeyed. They're about to walk away from something or someone they've been attached to for years. They're about to take a risk that will shock the people who thought they knew them. This isn't bravery. It's desperation, wrapped in love. They've reached a point where staying away from you feels worse than anything else. Someone close to them recently said something that triggered everything, something about you that made them feel protective, angry, and awakened. For the first time, they saw clearly what they stand to lose if they hesitate any longer. That single moment pushed them into a decision they never believed they would make. And now, as you're listening, they are pacing, breathing heavily, imagining what they will say when they finally stand in front of you. They rehearse different versions of the same confession, different beginnings, different ways to explain the storm inside their chest. They wonder if they should tell you the real reason they stayed away, or if they should admit that they were scared of their feelings, scared of judgment, scared of how real you felt. But the more they think, the more they understand that this moment won't wait. Something is pulling them toward you with a force so magnetic that even they can't resist. They don't know if you will welcome them or reject them. They don't know if you've moved on or if you're still waiting. But they're ready to risk their heart, risk their comfort, risk their image just to stand near you again. That's how powerful you've become in their life, enough to make them defy everything they believed they had under control. Right now, they're preparing for something that will change both of your lives. They're making a choice that no one expects, a move that will leave people shocked and confused. They've reached a point of no return. They might show up without warning. They might call you at a time you least expect. They might send you a message that will leave your hands shaking. They might confront someone who tried to keep them away from you. But mark this moment. This is the exact second when destiny rewrites itself. Someone is done holding back. Someone is done pretending. Someone is stepping out from the shadows into the light of a reality they can no longer run from. They want you, my beloved child. Before you blink, something powerful is aligning around you, an unseen wave pulling two destinies closer with a force neither of you can resist. The person who once hesitated, doubted, overthought, and ran from their own emotions is now standing at the edge of a decision that will rewrite everything about their life. They're no longer thinking in whispers, they're thinking in lightning. Their fear is still there, yes, but it's shrinking beneath the weight of what they feel for you. Today, for the first time, they admitted something they've been terrified to speak aloud. If I don't go to them now, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. Those words shook something deep inside them, something that has been dormant for far too long. That is why their heartbeat has been louder, their hands restless, their mind sharper. They've stopped caring about who agrees or disagrees. They are preparing for a bold move, and this time, nothing, not distance, not fear, not opinions, can pull them back. A strange sign happened earlier that pushed them even closer to this decision. Something unexpected, an old picture, a sudden memory, a message they found by accident, or a conversation they overheard, triggered a spark they could not ignore. It was almost supernatural, like life reminding them that you are not someone they can replace or forget. They sat quietly for a moment, staring at something that reminded them of you, and in that silence, they felt a surge of courage, a clarity they've been searching for since the day they first felt something for you. Ever since the distance grew between you both, nothing in their world has felt truly settled. The silence they once thought would help them move on only made your absence louder in their mind. No matter how busy the days become, or how many distractions surround them, your memory keeps returning with the same intensity, impossible to ignore and impossible to replace. They've started realizing that what they feel can no longer be pushed aside or disguised behind hesitation. Every moment of waiting now feels heavier, almost like they're denying something their heart already accepted long ago. Deep down, they know a turning point is close, and the decision forming inside them is far bigger than anything they previously allowed themselves to admit. What makes this situation even more intense is that someone nearby has begun noticing the emotional change happening within them, the shift in energy, the distant expressions, the sudden withdrawal from old patterns. It hasn't gone unnoticed. That person feels unsettled watching the connection weaken, sensing that their influence is fading with every passing day. There's confusion in the air, mixed with quiet fear, because they can tell something meaningful is unfolding beyond their control. The closer your person moves toward honesty, the more obvious the tension becomes around them. Instead of stopping these feelings, the pressure from outside is only making everything clearer. It's helping them recognize which emotions were temporary and which ones carried genuine depth all along. And through all this uncertainty, one truth keeps standing stronger than anything else. No matter how far they tried to run or how long they stayed silent, their heart never truly disconnected from you. And whether someone approves or not, this move is already in motion. It cannot be undone. It cannot be stopped. And now, as you're still watching, your person is rehearsing the moment in their mind, over and over again. They're imagining the place where they will confront their truth. They're imagining the look in your eyes when they finally speak. They're imagining the relief of unburdening their chest. They want to tell you everything they hid, everything they felt, everything they tried to escape from. They want to tell you why they couldn't step forward before. They want to admit that their silence had reasons, but none of those reasons were strong enough to erase what they feel for you. Their heart is beating with a mixture of fear and determination. They don't know how you'll react. They don't know if you'll open the door or shut it. But they're ready to face whatever comes, because the desire to be with you has become stronger than any fear they've ever known. Stay with me, because the moment they take this step, everything will accelerate. A message could arrive unexpectedly. A call might come out of nowhere. They might show up physically, unannounced, surprising even themselves with the courage they never knew they had. This is not an ordinary move. This is not an impulsive reaction. This is the culmination of every buried emotion, every quiet longing, every sleepless night they spent thinking of you. Their move will reveal everything, their intentions, their truth, their heart, and when it happens, you will feel the shift instantly, like destiny finally catching up. My beloved child, in this very moment, a quiet storm is building inside someone's heart, an intensity they can no longer hide, no matter how hard they try. They've reached a point where pretending doesn't work, distractions don't help, and silence feels like punishment. Every hour today has felt heavier for them, as if the universe itself is pushing them toward a truth they can't run from anymore. They're pacing, thinking, replaying every moment they shared with you, and something inside them keeps whispering one thing again and again. If I don't make my move now, I will lose them forever. That whisper is growing louder, stronger, almost unbearable. Their chest feels tight, not out of fear, but out of urgency, because they know time is shifting, destiny is rotating like a lock, and one wrong delay could close the door they desperately want to walk through. They've never felt this kind of emotional pressure before, and it's all because the thought of losing you scares them more than anything they've ever faced. A major realization hit them recently, one they didn't expect, and it shocked them. They discovered that no matter how many people stand around them, no matter how loud their environment gets, nothing feels right unless it connects back to you. They tried ignoring it. They tried convincing themselves that it was just a phase. They even tried hiding behind responsibilities, relationships, or pride. But none of that held up. Instead, each attempt only pulled them deeper into the truth they've been avoiding. You are the person their soul keeps choosing, not their mind, not their impulses, their soul. And once a soul makes its choice, no amount of distance, silence, or interference can dilute that connection. That realization shook them, it terrified them, but more than anything, it awakened them. And now they understand that destiny isn't waiting for them anymore. Destiny is demanding action. But here's where their fear grows. Someone around them has sensed this inner shift, and this person is worried. Very worried. This individual, someone who wanted control, influence, or attention from them, is noticing the way their thoughts drift, the way their eyes don't focus, the way they suddenly go silent when your name crosses their mind. This third person feels the tension rising like a warning siren. They can feel your person slipping away, step by step, thought by thought, heartbeat by heartbeat. And this fear in that third person's eyes is giving your person even more clarity. It's proving how strong this pull toward you really is, because even the people around them can see it. Their heart is no longer where it used to be. Their heart is moving toward you, and nothing can stop that migration now. Not jealousy, not gossip, not manipulation. What is weighing on their heart right now isn't something they can brush aside anymore. Every emotion they tried to ignore has grown louder with time, and now it's impossible for them to pretend everything is fine. They have replayed every memory, every missed chance, and every moment they held themselves back out of fear. Deep down, they already understand that the choice standing in front of them could change everything around them. It may disappoint certain people, invite opinions, and create uncomfortable conversations they once tried desperately to avoid. But something inside them has shifted. The anxiety of never expressing what they truly feel now feels heavier than any criticism they might face. For so long they hid behind distance, convincing themselves silence was the safer option. Yet that silence only left them unsettled and emotionally exhausted. What once felt confusing has suddenly become incredibly simple in their mind. Their feelings are no longer uncertain, and the path they want to take is becoming clearer by the day. They don't want to keep running from what matters to them most. That's why the next step they're preparing for won't be casual or meaningless. It's going to come from a place of honesty they've held back for far too long. Maybe it arrives through an unexpected visit, maybe through words spoken without hesitation, or maybe through a decision nobody thought they'd have the courage to make. Either way, this moment has been building quietly for a long time, and now that they have reached this point emotionally, turning back no longer feels possible. Something real is about to unfold, and it's coming much sooner than anyone expects. You will feel the energy shift, you will sense their presence, you will see the signs aligning, and in that moment, everything will become clear. Someone is ready to step into your life with a boldness you never imagined. Someone is ready to choose you openly, fiercely, and fearlessly. My beloved child, something extraordinary is building behind the scenes. Something so intense, so unstoppable, that if you could see it with your eyes, you wouldn't believe how far this person is about to go just to reach you. Their heart is no longer whispering. It's roaring like a storm that refuses to settle. They have reached a breaking point where holding back feels like suffocating, and every second without you feels like a lifetime slipping away. Today, they looked at themselves in the mirror and didn't recognize the person staring back. The hesitation, the fear, the doubt, it's all fading. What's replacing it is a fierce determination, a fire they cannot control, a courage they never knew they had. They're not preparing a small step, they're preparing a life-altering leap, and they know once they take it, nothing will ever be the same again. Something triggered them recently, something big, something emotional, something that hit them harder than they expected. It could have been a moment of loneliness, a sudden reminder of you, a dream that felt too real, or a conversation that shook their entire world. Whatever it was, it didn't just wake them up, it flipped their entire emotional universe upside down. They realize that pretending they're okay without you is a lie they can't sustain. They realize that waiting for the right time is only giving fate a chance to steal you away, and that realization hit them like lightning. It made them sit down, hold their head, and think deeply about what truly matters. And every thought, every fear, every memory led them back to one truth. They want you, and they're ready to move toward you with a boldness that will shock everyone who thinks they know them. But the twist is darker, deeper, and more intense than you imagine. Someone close to them is starting to panic. This third person senses the shift. They feel the emotional earthquake happening. They see your person withdrawing, choosing silence over conversation, choosing distance over routine, choosing isolation over interaction. They notice the sudden change in energy, the sudden seriousness in their eyes, the sudden protectiveness when your name comes up. This third person is afraid. Afraid because they know they're losing control. They know the connection between you two is too powerful to stop. They know that once this bold move is made, they will be erased from your person's priorities. This fear is so visible that your person is picking up on it, and instead of pulling them back, it's pushing them further toward clarity. They see the truth now. Your presence brings peace, while others bring pressure, and that contrast is louder than any opinion or expectation. Right now, your person is preparing something they've never done for anyone. They're envisioning the moment where they finally show up, mentally, physically, emotionally, with a truth so raw it will leave you stunned. They're rehearsing what they will say, not because they want it to be perfect, but because they want it to be honest. They're imagining the expression on your face when they reveal everything they've held inside. They're imagining the shock on people's faces when they choose you openly. They're imagining the freedom they'll feel once they stop hiding their feelings. But beneath all this planning, one emotion is dominating their entire being. urgency, a sense that if they wait any longer, they might lose you to silence, time, or someone else. And that possibility terrifies them more than any fear they've ever faced. Stay with me, because their bold move is not just a confession, it's a declaration, a breaking of chains, a rejection of limits. They might leave something behind. They might walk away from someone. They might choose a path people never expected. But they're ready. Their soul is burning with a determination that cannot be stopped. And when they step forward, when they reveal their truth, when they make the bold move they've been preparing, everything in your world will shift. There's a shift happening in someone's heart right now, and whether they admit it openly or not, your presence has become impossible for them to ignore. For the longest time they tried to stay composed, convincing themselves that distance, silence, or distraction would eventually quiet these emotions. But feelings that are real don't disappear that easily. They return in quiet moments, in memories that surface without warning, in every small reminder that brings your name back into their thoughts. Recently, they reached a turning point where holding everything inside no longer felt easier than speaking the truth. Something within them finally gave way, not out of chaos, but from emotional exhaustion. They're tired of pretending they don't care as deeply as they do. Behind the calm image they show others, there has been an ongoing battle between fear and honesty. Part of them worried about rejection, about timing, about what could change once the truth was spoken aloud. Yet another part knows they can't continue watching life move forward while leaving important feelings unspoken. That realization has been growing stronger with every passing day. Now their thoughts are becoming clearer, and their hesitation is slowly being replaced by courage. The connection they feel isn't something they can casually brush aside anymore. No matter how much they attempted to move on mentally, they always found themselves pulled back toward you with even greater intensity. It feels meaningful to them in a way they can't logically explain. What happens next may arrive unexpectedly, but it will come from a place that has been building quietly for a very long time, shaped by reflection, emotion, and the simple truth that some people leave a lasting impact, no matter how hard someone tries to resist it. And the more they ignore it, the stronger it becomes. They're starting to realize that destiny doesn't wait forever, opportunities don't stay open forever, and hearts don't stay patient forever. That realization hit them with a force they were not ready for. It made their hands tremble. It made their pulse spike. It made them understand that the window is closing, and if they don't act now, something in their soul will break. But let me reveal the hidden tension playing out in their world. Someone around them is making things even more intense. This third person, jealous, threatened, insecure, is watching your person's emotional shift like a hawk. They see the distance growing. They see the way your person zones out, lost in thoughts they can't control. They feel the emotional detachment, and they know, without being told, that the bold move your person is preparing has everything to do with you. This third person is trying subtle tricks, guilt, manipulation, emotional pressure, fake concern, but none of it is working anymore. Your person is not responding the way they used to. In fact, their reactions are changing sharply. Their patience is thinning. Their tolerance is fading. Their focus is drifting away from everyone except you. And this shift is not reversible. Once someone realizes who their heart beats for, no amount of interference can erase that clarity. Right now, as you read this, they are mentally preparing themselves for the moment of truth. They've played out the scene in their mind 1,000 times. They imagine where they might stand when they finally speak to you. They imagine the words they'll use, the tone of their voice, the way their hands might shake from the intensity. They're scared, but not of you. They're scared of how much they feel for you. They're scared of what this move will change. They're scared of the emotions that will spill out once they finally drop the mask. But despite that fear, something stronger is rising. determination. A fierce, unshakable determination to stop running, stop hiding, stop pretending. They want to tell you the truth with their own voice, with their own eyes, with a sincerity that will make your heart stop for a second. Their bold move is not about impressing you. It's about freeing themselves from the torture of unsaid emotions. Stay with me, because their move is coming faster than you expect. They might send a message that sounds different, deeper, more vulnerable than anything they've sent before. They might show up physically, guided by a force they can't control. They might break away from someone who's been holding them back. They might finally confront the emotions that have kept them awake at night. But one thing is certain. When this bold move unfolds, you will feel it like a wave crashing through your reality. It will be intense, emotional, undeniable, and in that moment, everything between you and this person will shift forever. My beloved child, the moment you began listening, the energy around you started rearranging itself, quietly, powerfully, almost as if destiny pressed an unspoken command into someone's heart. That command is growing stronger by the second. The person who has been wrestling with their feelings, hiding their emotions, and pretending to be unaffected, is no longer able to contain what's happening inside them. Their soul is restless. Their mind is overflowing. Their heart is beating in a rhythm that screams one thing: go to them, now. They've reached a point where the silence is too loud, the distance is too painful, and the thought of you slipping away feels like a nightmare they refuse to allow. Every step they take today feels controlled by something bigger than fear, something bigger than doubt. It feels like destiny is dragging them to the doorway of truth, demanding that they make the bold move they've been running from. A powerful sign hit them recently, something unexpected, emotional, and impossible to ignore. It might have been a conversation that exposed the emptiness they feel without you. It might have been a message they stumbled upon. It might have been a memory so vivid it brought tears to their eyes. Or it might have been a moment where they felt your presence so strongly that it shook their entire being. That sign didn't just remind them of you, it reminded them of who they are when they're with you. It reminded them of the person they're becoming because of you. And that realization awakened them in a way they never imagined. Suddenly, everything around them looks different. The things they tolerated now irritate them. The people they once listened to now feel irrelevant. The directions they were following now feel wrong. All paths lead back to you, every thought, every emotion, every heartbeat, but the tension around them is rising. Someone close to them, someone who felt secure, someone who believed they had influence, someone who never wanted your person to drift toward you, is now panicking. There's someone watching this connection quietly unravel, noticing every pause in conversation, every delayed reply, every emotion your person no longer bothers to hide. They can sense that something has changed deep inside them. The attachment that once kept them stuck in confusion is fading, and no amount of pressure, emotional games, or forced closeness seems to pull them back anymore. Your person has started realizing that pretending is exhausting, and carrying emotions they never expressed has become heavier than staying silent. Lately, their thoughts keep drifting toward you in unexpected moments, during sleepless nights, long drives, crowded rooms, and quiet mornings where everything suddenly feels too loud inside their mind. They replay conversations, unfinished moments, and all the things they should have admitted earlier. There's a growing urge inside them to finally stop hiding behind fear and speak with complete honesty. They imagine reaching out, hearing your voice, and feeling that nervous rush that comes before a life-changing decision. Not because they want attention or drama, but because something genuine keeps pulling them closer to the truth. They know this can't stay buried forever. A message, a phone call, an unplanned meeting, something is building toward a moment that changes the direction of everything. Your person is slowly letting go of what no longer feels emotionally real and gathering the courage to move toward what does. The closer this moment gets, the harder it becomes for them to ignore their feelings. What's coming isn't about fantasy or temporary emotion anymore. It's about clarity, honesty, and finally choosing the connection that feels natural, peaceful, and impossible to forget.